God bless everybody. Today it's September 10th of 2023. This is a really quick Middle East update. Deals mainly with Kurds and Turkey and how this is starting to break out. Anyway, on Wednesday, September 6th, 2023, the Kurds and pro-Turk forces fight in northern Syria after 90 are killed. And this is amplifying as we're moving forward. And so these Kurdish groups are what they call United States-backed Kurdish fighters in northern Syria. I'm going to show you where this is on the map so you can understand that is in that choke point area where Turkey would come down into Syria and then down into Lebanon, and they're going to repel those Kurds as I've been talking about. So just realize that we are having some fairly heavy skirmishes. They are amplifying, and they're not slowing down, and every time they get a small little lull in this, it then accelerates and gets worse. So I just wanted to go over the Syrian live map real quick. This sort of gives a overview of what's happened in the last week or so. 5 days ago, the Turkish foreign minister said the conflicts in eastern Syria are only the beginning, and we warn of more serious repercussions. Now, we're having Russian warplanes and different things like that down in here, and then you also have the Syrian Democratic Forces and the Syrian National Army, and we're going to go over those real quick so you understand who some of these groups are. So the Syrian National Army is basically a Turkish-backed Free Syrian Army. So when you talk Syrian National Army, you're talking Turkish-backed Syrian Army. So that's extremely important, because when you get to the Syrian Democratic Forces, this is a coalition of ethnic militias and rebel groups which serve the official defense force of the administration of the North and East Syria, and they are sorry about that. They're mainly of Kurdish militias, okay, with some Arabs. So this is what I keep talking about. You got to watch Daniel 8, because the Kurds matter. They're the Medes in the history. And so the Turks and the Kurds are going to get this on here soon. And what's going to happen is Turkey's going to come down into Syria. They're going to be attacked by the Kurds. That's going to be repelled. The Kurds are going to fall towards the east and fall back. And then Turkey's going to drive into Lebanon and Israel down into Egypt. Now there's a number of different groups that are doing all these bombings and shellings. There's protests happening in these areas. This is really starting to heat up, and so we really need to watch this area along this border, because like I say, when Turkey comes down, they're going to come down through here into Lebanon, okay? The Kurds are going to hit them towards the north and try to cut them off. That's going to fail as Turkey comes down and also helps protect this group down in through here, and that's going to repel them to the east. That's just based on Alexander's history and how that happened in the past. So just realize that that's where I'm going with that. We've had some American delegations over there, but then look here again. We've had a number of clashes between the National Army, which is the Turkish groups, and the Syrian Democratic Forces near this point here. And that's that choke point I keep talking about. So just keep an eye on this area here. This is really starting to light up, and I'm going to say this is probably where your breakout point is with Turkey. Something is going to happen between Russia, Iran, the Kurds, and Turkey. And it's also interesting that when you get down into these areas, you're bordering these areas that are affecting, as we move down in through here, you're moving also into those areas that are affecting Israel and Lebanon. And so this is all going to start breaking out, and the whole Middle East is going to start to amplify. And you can see this map is actually starting to become very colorful. There's a lot happening over here. I'm just hitting the basic events so that you understand. And I believe that if this does follow Alexander's path in the past, he will come down here. He'll go down into Lebanon. The Kurds will fall towards the east to the government regional capital of Erbil here. As he goes down in through here and into Tyre, he will skirt Jerusalem, come through Israel, and then down into Egypt, and then back up into Lebanon to Tyre. Come over to Erbil, as it indicates in Daniel 8. This is where this really starts to take a Daniel 8 effect. Once you get over here into Erbil, they'll drop the Kurds down into Baghdad, and they'll push them over to Shush, and then Turkey will come over and basically smash both these nations, absorb Iran, and then that will then bring another war with 10 nations, because Iran is now absorbed into this nightmare. We would see 10 nations end up in Israel on their doorstep. And potentially seeing a siege on Jerusalem by December 22nd of 23, as we go into that date that I've been talking about so much here lately. And that date is, of course, 10 Tevet 5784 on the Jewish calendar. In the past, this is when Jerusalem was besieged. Okay, so I'm just saying there's a high probability. We're watching the Turks and the Kurds start to amplify their attacks on each other, and this is going to affect this region here mainly first before it goes down into Israel, and then it will break out into this other area over here. Those Kurds, once they get repelled, will fall back to Erbil, because that is the regional capital of the Kurds. They will then fall towards Baghdad because they're being pressured on multiple sides here. So this is going to collapse. Also, Turkey's bombarding them on the northern fronts. And so all this is going to collapse down towards Baghdad and then towards Shush, as it indicates in the prophecy of Daniel 8. Once Iran is absorbed, then we watch 10 nations come back to Israel and attack Israel. And then that December 22nd of 23 date possibly might matter when we see a potential actual sieging of Jerusalem by Turkey itself. God bless. I just wanted to bring this up. This area up here is amplifying, and we're watching multiple attacks occurring. I believe this area is where this originally is going to break out, and this will then create a real problem for Israel as we move forward. God bless. Have a great day.